Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner and today we're looking at the boot trunk kit for the Jaguar S-Type and Jaguar 420 models. Now this video actually includes three different kits. Just to briefly go over it, you've got the boot lid panel here, this singular piece here. You've got the boot side panels, that's left, that's right. So that's one kit, that's another kit, the pair of them. And then you've got the rest of the items, which is these 6 pieces. So you've got the boot mats, the boot front bulkhead section, and then the left and right side banked areas here. Just to look in this book here, albeit black and white, you can make out most of it. You've got the boot trunk floor mat there. You've got the banked side pieces there. You can see where the hinge comes down, which is obviously where these cutaways are here on the side bits. I'll zoom in on those in a second. Then you've got this boot cavity side panel area there, which is obviously for the millboard panels there. And you can't see the boot lid panel is this piece up here. But that's effectively what's included there. So all of these pieces are included as standard in our trim kit, and it does work out significantly cheaper to buy a trim kit overall. It includes all of the majority of the interior trim and upholstery parts you're going to need for your car. If you're restoring everything, and it does work out cheaper than buying all of those parts individually. But if you want to buy them individually, we can sell them like that. But note, when we say individually, we're talking about car sets normally. So like I say, a pair of boot side panels, for example, would be the individual car set parts. Anyway, let's dive on in. Before I do, check out the description below. There'll be some useful information in there about this particular part, anything I might have overlooked. Also some useful links to other related videos for Jaguar S-Type 420 interiors and boot trunk parts, and also links obviously to our website of where to buy these parts, as well as links to our blog and handbook area, which is a great resource about just generally us in a business and our mentality and our ethos as a business and what sets us apart from the rest. Do not assume when trying to find interior trim suppliers that all interior trim suppliers are the same. They might sell the same part in terms of name, and they might be made out of the same material in terms of name, but that's where the similarities end. You've got to think about pattern making, accuracy. You've got to think about experience in the market and how wide a product range they offer. We only do interior trim. We don't try and do a one-stop shop mentality where we're selling everything: bodywork, panels, steering wheels. We only do interior trim. It's all we've ever done, and we consider ourselves somewhat the experts at it. We also only have a fairly narrow range of cars that we've always done. Only 4 marks of cars. You've got the sort of Jaguar range, you've got the Austin Healey's, you've got the Triumphs, and you've got the MGAs. That's all we cater for, and thus we've become somewhat geeks and anoraks about knowing our bits and bobs on these ones. So just bear that in mind and do not assume that all suppliers offer the same product. It's why I've done this YouTube channel, to really showcase our work. Anyway, enough on that, let's dive on in. So this kit's in black, which was original for the Jaguar S-Type 420 boot trunk areas, and it was also done in sort of black Hardura material, which Hardura is a felt backed plastic material. So it's a plastic PVC topping. It's got the sort of grain on it that was there to imitate kind of leather and vinyl finishing, but it was on this natural jute felt backing. And Jaguar commonly use this pretty much throughout all of their XKs and E-Type and saloon sedan range for their boot trunk areas, majority of the cars anyway. And some of their flooring areas of cars and rear bulkheads, they use it behind the seats on the E-Type Roadsters, etc. So it's a high wearing material, easy to clean and wipe down because it's got that smooth surface finish, so kind of ideal for a boot trunk area. We can also offer Hardura in colours. Like I say, it was originally leaving the factory in black, but if you wanted to change it for a colour, you can do. So see our website for details. We do have a material and colours library that's worth checking out for that. And bear in mind, on the S-Type and 420s, boots are quite big. Boot trunks are quite big. So it is nice to open that space up a bit more by having a lighter colour perhaps. So kind of up to you really, how you wanted to go with that, but originally they were black, and that's obviously what we supply as standard unless instructed otherwise. We can also offer upgrade kits, which is carpeted basically. So the majority of people that want to go for the upgrade, and we do quite a few of them, they'll go for wool, so it matches the interior trim of their carpets, and it can look really nice in a wool carpet. And we even trim the boot side and the boot lid panels in
wool as well. Do see the link below, because I believe I've done a video for that one as well. We've certainly got photos of them. Looks really nice in wool, so perhaps a unnecessary extravagance, but you know, really does become a talking point as well. If you're at a show and you've got that nice spacious boot, then you've changed the colour and all the material, it really can set the car apart in an area that people aren't necessarily expecting. So worth checking out for sure anyway. But yeah, obviously, as you can see, these are the main sort of pieces. They're all pre-cut to the size that you need. They're edged as per original specs. So the boot mat, the main piece, is edged all the way around, but then other elements do not necessarily have edging all the way around. So this has only got it on the front and back edges. This is on selected areas there. And the mentality on that being that you're never going to see a raw edge. You're never going to see an unbound edge. It will tuck underneath the adjacent edge of a bound piece. So you're not necessarily cutting anything back, but you are tucking it behind adjacent pieces so that nothing's seen. That's a general principle. And with that, it's the same principle we hold for our carpets in our main floor area as well, is any unedged piece, sometimes if we see it's suitable, we extend them. We make them slightly wider than they need to be, so that it allows you to get an easy tuck underneath the adjacent piece, and therefore makes the fitment process a lot easier to the, should we say, the individuality and idiosyncrasies of the cars in terms of the size and measurement. So these are the sorts of things that we've worked on over the years with high-end professional trimmers to make sure that we can offer the most suitable product for, should we say, plug and play kits, as best as classic cars can be plug and play. But yeah, so going to the front here, obviously this is the front bulkhead panel. So this would be on the vertical. Obviously it sits upright in the car and gets glued to the actual bulkhead area there. Then you've got the side banked pieces, which have obviously some binding on them, but not all of them. And these are obviously the cutaways here for where the hinge element of the actual boot lid goes in. That's the other sort of banked side piece there. The boot side panels, black grained millboard material. So it's a fiberboard, and it has this, again, black graining on it to imitate sort of leather and vinyl, which again was used during this era for a few of the sort of boot sides, etc. And we put pilot holes in for the fixings on those as well. And then finally you've got the boot lid panel. Again, it's the black grained millboard fiberboard material, again with the pilot holes for the fixings there. We can supply the fixings. They are sold separately, screws and washers effectively, and also the fixings for the boot mat as well are the press studs. We can supply those as well, so be sure to inquire if needed on those ones there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much covered it. Not much more to say on that. Yeah, boot trunk kits. We call it a boot. The Americans call it a trunk. And everyone else in the world takes one or the other. We refer to it as a boot trunk kit to try and cover our bases. But yeah, hope you found that useful. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts out there. Of course, if you've got any comments below, please do leave them. Better yet, just contact me directly using the link to our website below. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.